Set. All right.
Got it.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to the 8th and final sync up meeting for TCL 27. So we are going to take a look at the kind of final product of what we had going on. I know that we were still working through an issue with Bootstrap accordion, so I think we might end up demoing locally to see how it looks and how it's going. But otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. So does anyone want to or have kind of a demo locally ready to go and wants to show off?
So we actually, as a team, decided to do record a video of
Oh,
it,
okay.
if that's cool with you guys. Yeah.
Go for
So
it.
we all took turns in the video of explaining different parts of the app. So I'm gonna actually share my screen and through that. I'm just gonna make sure that the audio can play through. So I'll play a little bit. And if you guys can't hear anything, just let me know. Okay.
I love that. I love that you already did this because I totally recommend doing this as an artifact post project. So amazing work, great forward thinking.
Okay, let me just put this up here. Okay, can you guys see the planet right now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so let me know if you guys hear any music or anything in the beginning. If you don't, then please tell me.
I don't hear music.
No music.
Yeah, I don't either. Let me check a
These
setting
adorable.
real quick.
It might be a setting that let me just
Yeah, there's the optimized for video
Okay.
clip, and that has a thing next to it.
All right, check this out now. Let me know if you hear anything.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, so here we go.
Welcome to Wood, your smart shopping list. The shopping list is going to learn your shopping patterns and recommend products for you to buy based on your frequency of shopping. When you come to the landing page, you see our beautiful logo, and you have an option to either create a new shopping list or join your friend's shopping list. Your friend is going to have to share a token with you in order for you to join the shopping list. I'm going to try to log in without entering a token, and I will get an error message that won't let me do that. That goes away in about 2 seconds. And if I just type in random words, same thing happens. So instead, I'm going to try to log in with an actual user token. Here we go. The very first view we are taken to is the list view. This is where you will see a beautiful shopping list. And note that you're on the list right here. At the bottom, you have a navigation bar with the list view or an add item view. Note that your route changes when you go to the add item view. Let's go back to the list. Let's say you want to share your list with your friend. Just open up this accordion at the top and share your user token with your friend. Your friend will be able to add items to the same list as you. And I'm going to pass this on to Sam, who's going to walk us through the list items on the list.
Thanks, Tatiana. As you can see here, we are in our grocery container. On the top, we have our search item field. This allows us to filter our list based on what we enter. So if I were to look for Oreos, I can type in Oreos, and that should immediately appear. To the right of the search field, we have this X button. If I click on it, it should clear out this field. The button also disappears when there's nothing in this field. If I want to look for bananas, you can see bananas appears. I can also look for something that's less specific, like if I type in the letter T, all the items that have the letter T in it appear. Once I start being a little bit more specific, we can filter it down to a specific item. Here. I can also type in an item without thinking about caps. So if I type in water in all capital letters, water should still appear. Right below, we have our legend. These icons signify when an item should be purchased next. So as you see in our list, these icons appear to the left of each item. On the top, we have our items that we need to purchase soon. Right below, kind of soon. On the bottom, we have not soon. And on the very bottom, we have an inactive item. You can also see that I need to purchase soon have a light hue of blue right below. For the kind of soon, a darker hue, and the not soon, even a darker, and then the inactive item is completely gray. Going a little deeper into each card's features, we could see on the left of the name a checkbox. If I go ahead and check that, that'll signify that this item is purchased. To the right, we have a little trash can icon. If I click on it, a modal pops up specifying if I want to delete this item. If I'm not, then I'll click no. The item is still there. If I do, I click yes, and the item disappears. I'll go ahead and try that for another one. Let's say I don't want the strawberries. I'll go ahead and click yes, and the item is gone. Next, Danny will go a little deeper into our back-end database using Firestore, and she'll go ahead and show off the add item components.
All right, thank you, CM. So since we were talking a little bit about the database, I want to jump into the structure of the database and why we made the decisions that we did within Firestore. So taking a look at this database, you'll see that we have a collection of groceries. This is going to be our shopping items divided out by individual users. So looking here under groceries, we're going to have all of these documents. These documents are named with the user tokens that are generated when you create a list. So diving a little bit further, each of these documents, you can create another collection within. So what we decided to do was create a collection of items within each of these documents. So for instance, looking at this Noah Lair's Sense, we can look at our collection of items, and this will now list all of the items that are associated with this one user. This is going to help in app responsiveness. Our speed's going to be a lot better because the database doesn't have to query through thousands of items to find ones that are associated with the user. It just has to find the one user token and populate those items. It also helps with scalability when you're talking about if our app were to blow up and have thousands upon thousands of users, we're clearly going to need to make some adjustments at that point, but it's going to be a lot more user-friendly and a lot quicker to query through the database in that way. So thinking about the database, adding items to the database, we're going to talk through our add item list. So here you're going to be asked for an item name. So I'm going to do something that I don't believe is on the list right now, but we're going to find out. So let's say I want some tangerines. I want to buy those within the next couple of weeks. And then let's say that I bought them last on the not September. Apparently I have drop downs. There we go. Let's say I bought them on the 15th of August. So that's going to say that was, about 2.5 weeks ago. If I submit, I'm going to get a nice modal that pops up that says, hey, tangerines have been added. And then the screen itself, all of the items will clear so that you can enter a new item without having to manually clear anything. So if I try and add tangerines again, let's spell it differently this time. Not spell it, let's capitalize the I. Let's say I need it soon this time. It's going to say, hey, that already exists on your list. And if we go back to our list here, we should be able to find, there's my tangerines with the first spelling I had with that capital T. Everything looks awesome. And it shows that I last purchased it in August, which is great. The only other thing here that's pretty cool is, let's say you don't enter an item or you don't enter when I should purchase this next for whatever reason. If you try and submit this form, it's going to tell you you need a name, and you also have to select when you want to buy this item next, just to make sure that we're not getting anything populated into the database that is not valid values for us to use and ingest in the list. So next, I'm going to hand it off to Yolanda, who's going to talk a little bit about our accessibility and the responsiveness of our app and what we were able to implement there.
Thank you so much, Danny. That was awesome. So as Danny explained, we have a very awesome app with Woot Woot. I'm going to show you a little bit about our responsiveness. So I'm just going to, do you guys have problem looking at apps on your phone or your tablet? You know what? Don't worry. Woot Woot, we got that covered for you. So I'm going to show you to pretend that we're on our fancy iPhone. So just going to show it real quickly here. We have, let's see, iPhone 10. And as you can see, it's still beautiful. It's still streamlined. You scroll it. It's all in, you know, it's responsive, and you click on it. We still have the modal pop up. Sure, I want to delete the rice. And then as also, if you want to click on it, say, hey, we just bought that rice today, I'll click on it and no issue there. Little side, so it changes to, if you want an added item, you could still add item. Let's do muffin, and we'll click. And as you can see with Woot Woot, it still works as if you were on your computer. So let's try it with tablet. So if you're with your grandparents and they only have an iPad because they don't have a computer, Woot Woot still works with them too. So as you can see, an add item, we're going to add in water because, you know, that's the most important thing to have in the household. We need it soon. It's been hot lately. Our grandparents are taken care of. Water already exists in the list. So let's make sure. So we're going to go, let's look for water. Beautiful. It's right there. And as you can see with Woot Woot, it works with an iPad. It works with the iPhone. Let's try something non-iPhone, a Pixel 2 XL. As you can see, it still works. It's responsive. And let's go try a different page, add item. So beautiful. And of course, there's our little token. And let's try another feature. Surface Duo. As you can see everything as you typically would see either on a tablet or a computer. And also, let's go ahead and go into regular mode. With accessibility, if you hover, we also make sure that it's everybody can have the use of it. So under the accessibility, we have the label, please enter an item. So then if someone uses a screen reader, they know what to put in there. And it's keyboard flexible. So it's also the same thing right here. So we want to make sure our app is user-friendly and majority of our user can use it. I believe, and then as you can see in here for our submit button, it tells the screen reader as well that it's a button that when they push it, it should submit the form. And if they don't have a mouse, you could also tab it. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm tabbing through different features and I could still submit. I will pass it back to Tatiana, which she did a lovely introduction to our app.
Thanks very much, Yolanda. And once you're done entering items on your list and you want to log out, our user-friendly logout button will help you do that. Just click right there. You'll be taken right back to the landing screen. We hope you love Woot Woot.
That was
That's
adorable,
amazing.
and I loved every minute of it.
Thank you for doing that, Sam.
Yep, no problem.
That was awesome. I love the hands
That's so
off in
fun.
it too. Collaboration, double chef's kiss. Amazing. And amazing making sure it's like tabbable. That's something that like can be really challenging to do, especially on drop downs or stuff like that. So really great job with that.
Yeah,
I
great
know,
work.
super awesome. Yeah. The only minor thing I noticed was I occasionally had like an audio blip on just, I think it was the recording going through Zoom. So I don't see a reason why we couldn't post that video independent of the recording of this meeting, should y'all want to have that up there as a thing to already do. So just, you know, let me know or whatever, and we can get that posted up there as well.
Totally. Yeah. Send it, because we'll write the Dev2 post about your team and we can include it there too.
All right, sounds good. I'll send it over.
Internet famous.
Oh gosh.
So amazing. You all did such a brilliant job. I think all of you are doing Career Lab, right? I think so. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, then I am going to bounce and pay attention to these kids. But you all did such an amazing job. And I will see you next week for Career Lab. Amazing work. And see you around. Sorry, I can't stay for the retro. Bye, friends.
Thanks, Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy, I'll probably go too, just let you do your retro as a team. But yeah, amazing work. You obviously worked super well together as a team. Just kind of, it's all represented there in the video and things. So super proud of all of you for putting in all this effort the last 8 weeks. Thank you so much to the mentors for everything you've done for the team. Yeah, great work. I'll see you all in Career Lab. Take care.
Thanks. All right. So again, we're just worth restating. That was awesome. Y'all did above and beyond exceptional work there. You should all be very proud. And I think that's also something you can point to if anybody asks you, so what have you done? You can go like, hey, I did this. It'll look pretty good. Graham, so I kind of stole the thunder. I realized now as I was looking at the mentor tasks that I stole the intro to the demos, although the demos pretty much was already gone and taken care of themselves. Are you audible? Do you want to, I don't think we've heard you yet. Are you here?
You want me to take through the retros?
Everybody else heard robot voice thing going on, right? Okay, Graham, I appreciate you, but it's probably not gonna work if you talk at the moment. So I'm gonna keep running with it, but I appreciate you there. Okay, because you're super broken up. All right. So we're gonna dive in. We're gonna do the retro thing kind of along with the template, the way that we've been doing it in the weeks prior. A couple of things that are going to change those instead of really kind of focusing on the what could improve and anything else you kind of want to bring up. Going to add in 2 new sections for kind of what did you learn, and think about more for the whole 8 weeks and not just for the the last 2, and then what's next portion of the retro, which will kind of dovetail on to the end of it. And so we can kind of see, it sounds like Stacey already alluded to, everybody's going to be doing Career Lab, but if you have other plans, you have other things, let's talk about those as well. So, but let's start out with the shout out stuff. So who needs a shout out?
Sam definitely needs a shout out. Every week always does this thing where he will do extra research while we're working or other things are happening. But this week we all kind of hit some walls throughout our pairing sessions. And even with that, Sam was like, I'll edit this video. I got you guys. We've all recorded it. I'll do it. To the point that it almost became a running joke of make sure you don't spend more than an hour on this because we're going to come for you. So big shout out to Sam for that, as per always.
Who else needs a shout out?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything Danny said. Sam has just been really just phenomenal. And especially this week, just the amount of work he's put in is tremendous. Yeah. Thank you.
I will have to agree. Definitely Sam, and doing the editing, and I hope he didn't do too much on that because we really didn't want him to do a lot more anymore. But yeah, a huge shout out. So I agree with Danny and Tatiana as well.
Well, yeah, I just need to shout out everybody else just because, we all kind of came together thinking that initially the styling was going to be difficult, and it was at times, but we all came together as a team and did the video together as a team. And I think that was just a big challenge for us to just get everything together within a good amount of time around everyone's schedule. So I think, and I'm just proud of everybody for, accomplishing this within the past 2 weeks.
I'll drop in with one. This one does apply to the group, but it's something that y'all should take individually, kind of going forward as well, which is to kind of reiterate, you all definitely have worked really well as a team. That is the hard part for a lot of people, is the ability to figure out how to work in and work as a team and work together and look like you're working together and moving as a unit and that type of thing. So great job on that, as has been cleared pretty much the entire time from the jump. But it seems like every week that you did this, you only continued to increase in your ability to work together and act as a team. So you will find out in, this industries, within a lot of industries, that there are a lot of people who are great individual actors, but don't necessarily play well with others. But I think, one of the great skill sets that you can have is the ability to work with other people and to come together as a team and to get stuff done. And I think you all did that. So seriously, congratulations to all of you on working through it and making that go through. I think you're going to be set up to have a whole bunch of success with with that kind of under your belt. Anyway, that's just mine hopping in there. Last call for who needs a shout out before we move on to the next section. All righty.
More shout out to Graham for pointing out Woot Woot. and for choosing that name for us in a sense.
He came up with the name. Thanks, Graham.
I don't know if you heard that, but it's recorded, so
yeah, for sure.
He'll hear it later.
Right. Okay, so did we reach our goals? Why or why not?
I think we definitely reached our goals when it comes to styling and just like the functionality of the app and how well it works. I think the only thing that, and you already kind of brought it up, that we kind of fell short on, I don't know if we fell short on, but like obviously there's that weird bug with deploying it onto onto Firebase. So, that'll be nice to figure out maybe later. But other than that, I think we killed it when it comes to the styling aspect and the features.
Yeah, I think we realized throughout this last couple of weeks that none of us is super design experienced or savvy. And so we were all coming together to be like, does this make sense? ? Because it was just like, it didn't seem like any of us were really like in that vein, like of what would look good. And we all had to kind of figure it out together and kind of scrounge up what we wanted, which was both fun and terrifying.
Yeah, I think that distinction of that, like the designer piece, the stylist piece, there are sometimes, you'll hear people refer to as a dev as a unicorn who is able to do all of the styling and all of the dev work all on their own, which I think is A, it's an overloaded term, but B, like it's some people, that's their full-time thing, right? So it's if you can come together and even put in like the, whiff of a theme together, then you're doing great, and y'all did way better than that. So I wouldn't sweat that at all. You guys did a great job. So all right, but yeah, otherwise I definitely agree. I think you all hit everything. There's always going to be a bug, and in this one was hit like with some goofy build stuff between libraries and nothing to do with your code. So like I wouldn't. Yeah, that's always it's gonna be a thing that just happens in life. It's gonna show back up. Otherwise, you did everything you needed to. I think you did great. So how do you feel coming out of the cycle? This one we're gonna go around the room, and I'm just going to go across the slider, your faces as they are across the top of my Zoom window. So let's start with Yolanda. How do you feel?
I'm a bit sad that this is it. I really enjoyed working with TCL 2017. I learned a lot. There's still a lot for me to learn, but just in general, I'm very happy that I was placed in this team. I was very worried in the beginning if I was going to work well with everyone. But this past 8 weeks, it went by so fast, and I, just hope that we could all keep in touch from here on out. But I really did enjoy the process. And I guess that's about it. I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely. All right, Tatiana, how about you? How do you feel? Another week.
I'm like glad that we got it done, but also a little sad that it's over because especially this past week, we had a lot of fun working together, like working through issues together. But yeah, I feel like we got it all done in the end.
Yeah, for sure. Great. Sam, you're next. How do you feel?
Yeah, I can kind of echo what everyone else is saying. It's like, it's a bit bittersweet right now, you know, because it's like, you know, we're done. It's the last week. But I'm just really proud of everything that we have accomplished. You know, there were moments where, you know, we each individually kind of felt a little scared going into certain weeks just because we didn't know if we were going to be able to accomplish it. But every week we, you know, were able to come through and get everything done up to the final weeks. And this week almost felt like, for me at least, felt like one of the hardest weeks just because it was so open-ended. But even that, we all came together and
oh no, you froze. Or at least I see you froze.
really, I was just, yeah, I was just saying, I'm just really happy about what we did. So yeah.
Good. All right, well, you're back to normal now, by the way. Great. Danny, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think everyone is kind of echoing the same sentiments. Like, it's very much, I'm super proud of what we accomplished. And I feel like as a team, we worked just really well together. And we were able to come up with solutions that none of us individually would have found, which I loved. But yeah, it's definitely like, it's kind of sad. It doesn't feel like it's been 8 weeks. I feel like I started this 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's just, it's bittersweet for sure.
Time flies when you're having fun. Cool, great. I'm gonna do the snake ordering thing. So we're gonna go back the other direction, but this time with okay, so and I say, what did you learn? Like, there might be a lot, right? So maybe let's pick like the biggest thing that you learned out of this experience.
So starting with me then?
Yeah, start with you, Danny, sorry.
Man, yeah, there is a lot. I think for me, I just learned how to work with different people, right? Like learning how to code by myself from online videos and things is like, it's very isolated and you don't have the experience of like having someone else kind of challenge what you're doing or challenge your ideas or like make you think of something in a different way. So I feel like, I don't know, going through this, I was able to learn how to navigate that and actually have like good conversations about what we're doing, why we're doing it, instead of just doing it. So that's my biggest takeaway, I think.
Great, awesome. Sam, how about you? What's the biggest thing you learned?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with Danny. I'm definitely the same, like, you know, just learning how to work with others, like that was definitely the main thing that I learned. It was the thing that I wanted to learn coming into this. So I'm really happy that that was something that, you know, I was able to develop. But yeah, other than that, like, I think, you know, when it comes to anything kind of technical, like this last 2 weeks really got me interested in styling. So learning about CSS and Bootstrap and just like the different options in that, you know, was really eye-opening because I never really paid attention to it that much. So I'm pretty excited about learning more about that moving forward. So yeah.
Dude, if you love it, go chase it. People like me who hate that stuff. And then, but yeah, I mean, there's always a niche to fill with that particular skill set.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, right?
Tatiana, what did you learn?
So a ton of stuff, just like everyone else, I think. A lot of smaller things and medium-sized things, but also the big things, like, yes, working together with other people, just building something with another person or multiple people. And like Danny said, coming up with solutions together. And also, you know, I think Git and GitHub was a part of it, like presenting your work product to a team, writing up what you did and then just walking through that. I think that was very helpful as well.
Good. All right, and then Yolanda, same question. What did you learn?
Same like everybody else, just a lot. I've learned a lot, and I still got a long ways to go. But I just learned that it was terrifying for me to even like ask questions in the very beginning of this journey, and then towards the end, getting to know everybody and their personality, it just eased off with that fear. It's still there, but not as much as it was 8 weeks ago. And definitely, like what Tatiana said, getting comfortable, at least for me, with that Git and GitHub, and seeing how like the structure of a pull request is done and these stand-ups. So now that, if I have to prepare for an interview, I got a better understanding of a team structure versus, like what Danny said, like working on your own is completely different, and learning on your own than working in a team. And through this Collab Lab, it was really nice to see, okay, this is as close as I'll get to what a real life situation of, making a product. So I've learned a lot from how to work in a team, how to talk and communicate in a team, and also how to code together in a team. So that's probably the main gist of it.
Awesome. Okay, and then final section, I'm going to continue with the snake theme, so we're going to jump back to Yolanda again. But what's next? So, I mean, if it's just Career Lab, it's just, but if you got other things you're ready to go and you want to go do, or whatever else is coming up, tell us what you're going to do now that we're done here.
What's next? Yeah, I'm going to do the career lab for the next 2 weeks. Definitely go back to the basics of HTML and CSS. I definitely left that on the back burner a little too long than I should have. And personally, for me to look for my first tech role for entry level or junior position. So that is my next few goals.
Everybody always needs to go back to the basics of HTML and CSS all the time. That never, like, it's the same thing as like practicing throwing a baseball. As if you're a professional player, you just got to keep going back. Cool. Tatiana, what's next?
It's Career Lab for the next 2 weeks, but I also want to go back and try to figure out if we can fix this app, not fix this app, I don't want to say that, but deploy it. And try to, dig through the solution you suggested, Lyle, and see if we can get that done. Otherwise, bigger goals is also looking for a tech role, but that's just a bigger goal in life in general.
Cool. Yeah, it's worry for it. It's a build bug. Build bugs are annoying, but good luck. There's an answer. There always is an answer somewhere.
We're gonna find it.
Yeah, other than Career Lab, with the same thing as Tatiana said, like try to figure the build. And I would love to, eventually include it in like my portfolio and, have everybody on there, show off that I can work in a team. But yeah, other than that, like I love to work on like my other separate projects that I've been going for a little bit, and continue applying for jobs and work on algorithms for technical interviews. So there's a lot.
I have such strong opinions about needing to do algorithms as like a whiteboarding activity on an interview, but we're not doing that now. All right. Danny, what's next?
Yeah, so as with the rest of the group, Career Lab for the next couple of weeks. I think in terms of longer goals and what I'm looking at, I do have another mentor at work who we've been meeting every couple of weeks. So ideally preparing for, there is an apprenticeship, a dev apprenticeship coming up at my company, hopefully in like January, February, assuming the program happens this year. So I will be working towards hopefully getting that so that I can kind of get my foot in the door with the company I'm at. But yeah, that's what I got. You're muted, Lyle.
You guys can't hear me through the mute button? Just need to figure that out. Awesome stuff. Graham, I was gonna ask if you want to try and kind of throw out there, see if we can hear you this time. You know, anything that you wanted to chip in here at the end of this as well, in addition to, let's hear about what you're doing if you got, you know, the ability to tell us. Or not. It's okay. We will come back to you and hear from you later, Graham, and hopefully able to and chip it in on the TCL channel in terms of what's next. Again, I thought y'all did fantastic. It's always something to learn. I always pick up new things just watching everybody figure out the code on their own. So like there's been a bunch of like little like, oh, I didn't know you could do that, you know, that I picked up throughout the app thing, which is always really neat. But it is, you know, it's driving some of my ambition. I was chatting with Graham a little bit about there's, you know, an app I want to maybe go out and start to build. I've had an idea for a little while and I've been putting it off, and my current company's, you know, still in startup mode, and we'll see if they make it to through the year or not, you know, and I might be ended up looking at new careers myself in the next little while and stuff. But like, you know, I think I gotta keep building and keep my skills sharp, go back to the basics, you know, in some areas. And then, you know, I'm gonna work on some side projects as well to, you know, kind of keep things going. So yeah, maybe that'll work out here in the near future, and maybe not, but you know, there's plenty of things that are going to be coming up. So
can I chime in for a second?
There you are. There you are. Great.
Sorry, we've been jumping in and out of LTE, so I'm afraid my reception's not been perfect. My apologies.
No worries.
But yeah, I've been trying to keep running commentary in the chat going, but I did want to just kind of reiterate, fantastic demo. You guys did an amazing job. I really liked how everything was really well balanced in between how everyone had their own speaking roles and also really able to demo all the different parts. Absolutely fantastic. I think you guys should be so proud of that and post it on all your personal social media and all that jazz. Yeah, like you guys, I too am very proud of what you've done. Glad to have been a part of it, and kind of sad that everyone's kind of all continue on our ways. I'll be part of Career Lab in the upcoming group, so maybe I'll see you there, maybe I won't. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what you guys get up to next. Keep in touch, you know, share your socials. Let's see you know, see where you end up, and who knows, maybe we'll end up working together in the future. Yeah, that's all I really got, except congrats. You guys are fantastic, and yeah.
I will say, thank you, Graham, first of all, by the way. I'm glad we got to actually hear from you. So if you pop back at a you know, LTE range in the next little bit, just great to hear from you. Yeah, I think the cool thing about the Collab Lab project is that, you know, there's still an open Slack channel. You can still see people popping in and talking from back to this thing's inception, even if they haven't been an active participant or mentor. Sometimes the participants come back and mentor, right? And they do kinds of other stuff, but other times they're just in there kind of chipping in, you know, being part of the chats. If you wanted to continue to do more stuff with them, you know, like they're doing the tech talks, they're always looking for people to do a tech talk. You know, I'm always a fan of the, if you want to learn something, try and teach it, you know, kind of approach. So, you know, if you're really like you're struggling with a thing, or you just want to kind of get out there a little bit more and practice some of this presentation, demoing, working through that stuff, doing one of their tech talks, I think is a great way to handle that, or just chipping in, checking in on the Slack channels, you know, they've got open, and just talking and keeping in touch with people. It's a pretty good community in terms of just like, you know, being there for each other and being able to help out and answer each other's questions and things. So I'd say keep going with them. Obviously, you know, keep in touch with everybody on your various social platforms and such. I've said this before, but like, I probably need to get more active on social media in general, you know, in certain ways, but without letting it like, you know, do horrible things to your brain. That's always what I'm afraid of. But yeah, no, again, like there's no reason that you have to be done with any of the stuff even after career lab, right? You can keep, just participating and be a part of it. I think that's all I got for now. So I guess while we still have a couple of minutes on the clock, I'll just open floor now. If anyone's got anything they feel like saying or just want to chat, now is the time.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What do you guys want to build next? What are your next steps? I mean, Lyle spoke a little bit there about what he wants to build, but what do you guys want to build? What do you have any ideas of what's next on your personal project agenda?
Well, I'm currently building a little web app right now using the Google Maps React API, and I'm trying to like make an app so it's easier for people to find breweries in the area. I might have mentioned this before, but that's something that I'm currently building. And then I also would love to just learn how to make a game in JavaScript, because that's something that I haven't really done yet. And I know there's a lot of game logic that I haven't really messed around with, and I know it's going to be a big challenge. So that's something else that I would love to do.
Well, the world of online games cried out in pain when JavaScript went out of, or sorry, not JavaScript, Flash went out of support. So there's this whole world of online games that needs to be resurrected.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the apps I wanted to build was I used to live next to a bunch of breweries when I was out in Golden, Colorado, right? That's where they all are. And like one of the things I wanted to do is like get an app that would allow you to, so they always have like either a printed out sheet with all the beers that they have on tap, or they have like something up on the chalkboard. What I wanted to do is come up with a thing that would let you like scan it, take a picture, do OCR on the paper sheet a lot easier than the chalkboard. My goal would be to get to the chalkboard, but I couldn't quite figure out how to make that work well enough. And then once it reads the chalkboard for you, then tell you which beer you might like of the stuff that they have on tap. It was a little ambitious, didn't make it very far, but like my brother he's worked for a few different breweries in the Colorado area, and he always had, I always called him like a sommelier of beer, which there's actually a real word for it, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. But like, he's just the best at like telling you what you like, or if you tell him what you like and you tell him what you're eating, he'll do like the pairing thing for you. And he's always really good at picking them out. So I'm like, if I could encode that into an app, I always thought that would be a great way to make that happen. But the OCR gimmick part of it's tricky.
Let's team up later. If my project is good enough, maybe.
My project was not good enough, but I was only getting me screwing around for the most part. I should probably make it more serious at some point in the future.
I feel like I don't know if anyone else relates to this, but I'm really terrible at coming up with my own app ideas. Like I struggle. And then so I end up just doing like random things to keep me busy. Like I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna make this calendar thing. And then like I'll add a list to it, or I'll add a quote of the day because I don't know what else to do with my life. Yeah, eventually, what was that?
She said it's perfectly fine. I mean, your app doesn't have to be a world-changing thing. I mean, my personal favorite, most recent one was just these QR codes for packing, because we were moving, right? Something small, simple, as long as it solves a problem in your own life, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true. I think the last time I literally looked at my wife and I was like, what do you want me to make you? So I don't have ideas. And that's how I feel.
You could just, I was just gonna say, you could soup up our current app, clone it, soup it up, put that new spoiler on it,
I was just gonna say, there's nothing wrong with making like a good calendar or a good, I don't know why there's still not a great to-do list. Like I always end up just, in Google Keep making just like a dumb list because all the other to-do lists just suck. You know what I mean? So if you've like figured out how to do like just a good version of something like that, then you're already like, it doesn't need to be some crazy novel thing. Like just make a good version of whatever. You know what I mean? It's a good way to go. Yeah, give Woot.
One other app idea that I've always had is just to clone existing things. So if you don't necessarily want to make something that's brand new and original, that's fine. But find a service that you really like and try to make it yourself. See how far you get. And that then, you'll learn a lot of the process about the challenges they're facing. And yeah, you might get a workable app out of the end of it.
Yeah, like the shopping list app. Clone that.
There you go.
On the side note, has anybody had any experience making Google Chrome extensions? Because that's actually one of the things that I was looking into the other day.
I wanted to try, but I haven't actually done it.
We did that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say we did that at a job I was at a few gigs ago. So the product was it was a health insurance app that allowed you to submit insurance claims. So what this was, I have to do the short version of the business context so that it kind of makes sense on what was going on. But effectively, when you go through the hospital, you end up generating bills, and someone at the hospital ends up needing to kind of punch in and submit that information about your bill to the insurance company in order to kind of submit the claim and make it go forward. So that's why they take your insurance information when you go to the hospital. Graham, none of this applies to you because you're in Canada. And then they run it through, and they actually send a bill to your insurance company, and they send a bill to you. Someone needs to submit that thing to the insurance company, and it's a pretty labor intensive process. So one of the things that we figured out how to do was take the information that we had entered as part of like the software. So we knew everything that was getting done for the patient. And then we were going to have it submit the claims. We couldn't just straight up submit the claims electronically because we wanted to make sure that there was a person who physically watched it happen, or at least was physically doing the data entries so that you could avoid any legal implications. So what this thing would do is take like kind of the LastPass approach. You know how LastPass, whenever you end up on like a password form, it will fill in your username and password for you because it already knows. And we take that and we said it was going to fill in all of the stuff for the claim onto a website's input form for that agent human, so that they didn't have to do it themselves, and it would go faster, but it still put them on the screen for quality control. So what the Chrome extension would actually do is you'd have the person sit there and they'd kind of click go, and it would robot fill in the form, and they'd check it and then click OK, and then it would robot fill in the form and they'd check it and they would click in OK. But it ended up being able to boost their productivity by quite a bit, by kind of speeding up that process and just kind of letting them go and click through. And that was kind of the metric that the company was going for, was how many of them they could submit in a day or an hour or whatever. There's some tricks with that though, because you have to get the data from like your web service and the database that you have, not only up into like a website, but then jump from like the thing into the Chrome extension and back in. So it's an interesting challenge. Chrome extensions, for good reason, don't let you do a lot of things that you might necessarily want to do, because they can be super dangerous if you're not careful. But it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make something simpler than that. Like, I just want to be able to watch a video, and like when you're sometimes watching YouTube videos and the person who's talking doesn't know how to like mix their vocals, and like their S's are really sharp, like their sibilances are really sharp. So in audio, there's a thing called a Deesser, and I just want to be able to de-ess people's voices that aren't mixed well, because it like hurts my ears. And then I want to put it on the marketplace. Maybe there's other audio engineers that would be interested in something like that, because there are so many terrible videos that are mixed. I mean, so many videos that are mixed terribly. So would love to solve that problem.
There's probably definitely a market for that. I don't imagine it's an easy problem, but I bet you there's a market for it.
Yeah, and I haven't found one on the marketplace. I'll have to check again, but I haven't found one. I was looking for it like a couple months back. So
all right. Any other last what's next things you've been thinking about? Like ideas you've been noodling on, places you want to go?
Probably for me, traveling once it's safe to travel. But that won't happen anytime soon. That's the dream a couple of years from now, or unless my son could get vaccinated. But that's the biggest dream. I want to travel, and then maybe one day meet up with you guys. I thought about that. It's like, I want to kind of check out, East Coast and Canada and wherever everybody's at, and just travel again. It's my biggest dream once it's safe to do so. But that's my little 2 cents.
I really thought 2021 was going to be my travel year. That did not work out that way.
nope. 2022, I guess.
I'll see.
Yeah, I just wanted to actually just make a comment and like thank the mentors. Lyle, Graham, April. I mean, maybe she'll hear this because it's recorded, but yeah, thank you guys for taking time out of your day and weeks to just like help us out here. I know you guys are all just volunteering your time here, and developers. So just hearing you guys and like you guys like sharing your wisdom and experience has been so monumentally helpful to me, and I'm sure to everybody else. So, and I hope to continue, connecting with you guys throughout on the Slack channel and whatever other platforms you guys work on.
The big fat paychecks they give us helps. Paychecks. They do not do that. Yeah, thanks. Graham says thanks too. So does April.
Well, as I said in the chat, it's been a pleasure to take part, and I'm really happy to be here.
All right, everybody. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up. So I just want to say again, good job. I wouldn't sweat that one bug too much unless it's just going to bother you. And I say that as someone who is usually the person who just gets bothered by that kind of stuff. But like, otherwise, you did awesome and it looks great. And we'll record this. We'll put it all up. If you want to put up the demo separately, we can do that as well. I think you're gonna get a kick out of Collab. It should be a bunch of fun. I am quite positive all of you will be quite successful as you proceed in tech, or if you decide to go do something else, y'all are gonna be great at everything that you're gonna do. It has been an absolute pleasure, working with y'all and being able to see what you can do. And again, like our part in this is not very much. Like y'all did awesome stuff and brought it all together and did good work. So feel good about it. Celebrate. Congratulations. You did well. But yeah, I'm gonna close it up. So again, last call for final remarks, and then I'll say have a good afternoon, and we'll see you soon. What else?
I had one more thing.
Do it.
So we were talking about this in one of our last pairing sessions, but I feel like at some point, if everyone's game, we should all do like a virtual happy hour where we get to like hang out, not doing this, and just like chat and be social.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
I'm at a bar already.
I just want to say, I noticed, Sam, when you tried to shamelessly plug your fanny pack into the video.
I missed it.
I was trying to be subtle about it. We had a whole little thing about my fanny pack. I'm the fanny king.
I'd love to do a little happy hour, with like actual drinks.
Yeah, same here with everyone, like collabs and mentors, and we'll have maybe we could play a little game or something like Jackbox, or I don't know, whatever's out there. That's going to be fun. If not games, just chit chatting and drinking is fun too. So I'm totally down for that.
Do a round of Among Us so that we can all end up hating each other.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say we can do GeoGuessr. That's always,
No idea what that is.
It literally just puts you in a random place in the world on like Google Street View, and you have to try and figure out where you are.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be terrible at that. That.
Awful, but it's a lot of fun.
All right. Yeah, no, let's do that. Let's coordinate that in chat. I'd happily show up unless I'm, kidnapped or, some other situation where I can't make it in. Unlikely. So I'll try and be there. But yeah, otherwise it sounds great. And yeah, thank you very much, everybody. And we'll talk to you soon. Have fun in Career Lab.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Lau.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.